guys! So about more than 2 years ago, I guess, I made a video about Ktown4u is still a bad online shop to use. And the thing is that what I've noticed, like, people don't really like to check the dates that a video is uploaded, I guess. So, and they, even if they do, they don't really realize that things can change. So it's like, I could take down that video, but also like I checked how much it makes me, and like it's like makes like a few cents every month constantly, so it's like not like a disappeared video or anything. So I'm like, yeah, it kind of makes me money. And if you think about it, what I said at that time is completely true and correct. So it did happen like that then. So it's just a 2016 video. It's not a 2019 video because it's 2019 now. So what I've noticed last year, around like the middle of the year, whatever, that my whole Facebook mainly, but even kind of YouTube, is flooded with Ktown4u ads. Like that's like the 80% of the ads I get is Ktown4u, which I guess makes sense if you think about the algorithm. It's like I search K-pop, I like watch K-pop related things on YouTube, I post about K-pop, like the algorithm, all it sees is like K-pop. So it makes sense that they would just like put the Ktown4u ads for me. It's just kind of weird because like it's good for a new K-pop fan, I guess, because like they need to find a store. But like if you're into this for years, you probably already have your store and probably already know about Ktown4u. It's just kind of weird, but I guess it's like pretty simple algorithm. K-pop, okay, you get Ktown4u ads. And I guess I also get Wiki ads for K-dramas, so like that's nice. And the reason why I don't mind, because they decided to put album previews as most of their ads. So I'm like, oh, that's the new album preview of this whatever other group. And sometimes it's not just the popular group, so that's good. So I don't really mind them because it's like informative for me. I don't really like that they use the, what's the term, most inexpensive. Like for starters, like I don't like the word expensive, and even if it's like inexpensive, it's like still the word expensive, and they basically say that they are like cheapest. But I guess they don't want to use the word cheap either, so like they say that they are the cheapest, like whatever, and they are not, so yeah. But I guess that's how you can promote, like it's like you say that your store is like cheaper than the others, and like it is cheaper than, for example, K-pop Mart or K-pop Town or even eBay, and I guess that might be the go-to for many newer fans to just go on eBay or Amazon, and like I guess. But like you need to find a store itself if you want a store, and I guess these ads work because my videos started to do much better since the ads started on Facebook and all that, because like they search what is this Ktown4u store, and that's good behavior. Like that's a good thing to do when you start to use an online store. You research and not like, oh, this ad says I should use them and then go and use them, although that works too. But I'm glad that people are researching it and finding my video and make me some tiny money. It's not a lot, but since it makes money each month, it's like worth for me to keep the videos on. Like, so the thing is, the whole conflict used to be that Ktown4u doesn't really have a good communication. Didn't. Like, I guess. I didn't know, whatever. So, and the packaging wasn't that great either. So there are potential conflicts. If your package gets damaged, obviously you contact them. But if they have bad communication, the whole thing is just a mess, you know. And my whole problem was that I ordered, I think, 2 or 3 albums together, and one of them was out of stock. And like they didn't have it. It said that it's in stock when I ordered it, and they didn't do anything about it, like for 2 weeks or something. And I had to message them first, and then even then they were like, oh yeah, whatever, it's like we send the rest. And I'm like, how about you let me change the album? Or like in general, they should have let me know in 2 days that they don't have one of the albums in stock at all. It was a mistake on their part, okay, I can understand it, but the fact that they didn't even try to contact me, that was the whole reason behind my video. That like you're the store, you are the one who doesn't have the item in stock, how about you let me know and not let me wonder like for 2 weeks, like where is my package, why isn't it shipped? So like that didn't make sense. And also the whole like their tracking didn't work incident was like about 3 years ago. So even like I think I use the same shipping that I did then, but it's changed. On the box itself, it's a different paper like sticker thingy, so the tracking works the same for me. I think it doesn't in the US, but yeah, for me in Europe it works, so that's great. So that's changed, the tracking thing is different. And as for the packaging, I actually kept the box here. So this is the box that I got my Ryok albums in recently, and I also ordered Tina's present there, so I got another of this box. It's actually not the simple box, it's a higher quality, more sturdy box. So I guess since they got a lot of complaints about the boxes just being literally smashed, and that's how they got, like people got their packages. Pretty recently, like in last year, May also got one of her packages like in a pretty bad condition. So the boxes were not sturdy at all. But the thing is that those boxes that they used to use are the boxes that every other store used, and for some reason, for some other stores, it didn't get damaged. The same boxes. And the thing is that the other stores actually filled the whole thing with bubble thingy, whatever, bubble mailer or that other little packing peanut kind of thing. So the box is filled with stuff, even if it's just air and plastic beside the album. But when it gets a hit because of Post doing their shitty job as usual, it's more likely to stay together. So even though Ketchup City uses the exact same boxes that Ktown4u used to use, not the ones they use now, they always around in nearly perfect condition because Ketchup City uses a lot of bubble wrap. Like the whole box is completely filled up, and that's my standard now. So when I open a Ktown4u package, now I'm like, why isn't the box filled with like bubble wrap? It's so weird for me, but the albums arrived safe because now they use this sturdy box. It's also a bit, it makes me nervous that the whole tiny package of albums with the bubble wrap can move around in the box, so that bothers me a tiny bit. But since they changed to the sturdy box, I think I give a pass on the packaging. It's not the best option that you can have in packaging, but I think that it took them years, but they changed the box and I guess it's like better, so that's a good thing. And apparently, according to other comments and other people in general, their communication also got better, so that is great. And I like their ads now because they are album previews. Please don't ever change that. I like the album previews ads because I actually need those, like they are necessary. Like, I don't know, I like album previews. So I think it's like my opinion about Ktown4u is not as bad as it used to be, obviously, because years passed and even I changed, and like you know, the memories faded. Right at that time I was more angry. I know the exact reasons, but I'm not as angry now because it's been more than 2 years, obviously. So I ordered like very few packages since then. I mainly order my extra copies for Suju from them, like not all of them, but like one, and order another one from another store and different stores, and that's how I get different photo cards. So I kind of use Ktown4u still. And now that Ketchup City is on a break, I ordered Ryok's album there because they said that even though it's a random, if you buy 2 or more you get different ones. So I'm like, okay, let's trust that. It did. I did get the blue and the red versions for Ryok's solo album. So that is great. And they arrived safely, but they are very sturdy packaging, so it would have been pretty bad if they could mess that up, like I mean the post. So all in all, I think Ktown4u is on the good track. I just find it like it's sad that they had to start to lose customers and then build the whole thing back up when they were, I think they probably still are, at the top of the game. Like they were like 3 or 4 years ago by far the most used online store, and everyone just liked using them. They were obviously the cheapest option. They are not anymore. They are still a cheaper option than most stores, so I give them that they are not crazily overpriced. But if I put together the same package on like other stores that I use, there are others, like other two that I can think of, and then it just usually ends up being cheaper. So, and I know that Ketchup City, for example, has better packaging, so my always go-to store is going to be Ketchup City. But I don't think I would still hate on Ktown4u or anything. I would still continue to buy my extra copies from them, and I guess if things happen that Ketchup City is on a break, which breaks my heart, I can order from them and it's not that bad. So hopefully they go on this track forward and they are going to improve, because actually I really hated when I had to stop using them. Like every little negative thing that happened, not only to me but my roommate, who was just like called the friend back then, like it was even worse for her. It just made me upset, because back then when they were called DVD Heaven, I've used them since then. I just loved using DVD Heaven. I just remember being like, DVD Heaven, I got my huge package from DVD Heaven, I got this from DVD Heaven. And like they turned to Ktown4u and their one-on-one service was horrible. Now it's good, I think, at least that's what people say. But back then it was pretty not that great. Like they just didn't reply. You had to harass them to reply. And like you had to have a really big issue to reply. And before that, like while they were DVD Heaven, they had that like public post kind of thing. Like others could see what you asked them. And well, that made you as the customer to be more wary of how you ask and how you communicate to them. You might actually search others if they asked for the same thing, like asked about that. And like I guess I don't know why they changed that. I mean, maybe they got too like busy and more, I guess, more customers. But it worked really fine. Like I just really liked how that worked back then. So it's like, still in my heart is like, there was a DVD Heaven time. And they had a bunch of things that other stores didn't. And they used to be like very up to date with Suju's merch, but again, Suju was more at the top that time, so it makes sense. And I guess they really ordered the merch for popular groups now, so it works. But I don't know, I think for years I was really upset when from DVD Heaven they became Ktown4u, and with the name change and the whole layout of the official site change, there were also other changes that I didn't like. The packaging got worse and like the communication got bad, and I didn't like that because that never happened with DVD Heaven. And DVD Heaven has always been, like at that time, was my main go-to store. I just loved using them, and when changes like that happened, like you have to drop them. And I didn't even have a good option back then when I was already thinking about dropping them. And like, I'm not gonna go back to K-pop Town, and I'm not gonna use K-pop Mart with their no tracking shipping at that time. So there were issues that I had like with them, and I couldn't really solve it with just going to another store. And then I was more and more aware of Ketchup City, and I tried them before I dropped Ktown4u. So like I tried them, and then just basically from 2016 I started to use them like for every single one of my packages pretty much, from January pretty much. So it's been 3 years, I guess. Whoa. And I really like using Ketchup City, so I don't think I'm gonna go back to Ktown4u, but those times that I hate them, even, I don't know if that's a strong word, sorry, I think those times are gone. So I just made this whole rant video about, I don't know, but probably they are better, so don't hate on them kind of video. They have their issues still, some tiny ones, but it's not as bad as it was 3 years ago when I just like had to change the whole thing. And I made that video 2 years ago that I tried to use them, and then that whole rainbow album thing happened, and like since then of course I got that rainbow album, so it's all good, but like I wasn't happy that time, okay?